Hey guys, last video I was integrating this theme into our Laravel project and it's kind of a mess, as theme work is a mess. But basically what I was doing is breaking up the HTML assets. For example, let's actually get paint. See if I can explain this. I started with first having a full theme like this, and the theme contained a sidebar. It also contained a top bar, and also contained this little bad boy, content area, and the footer. So sidebar, content, header, footer. So what I'm almost wondering if we should watch this video before you watch the video right before it, because I think the video before this confused you, most likely. So what I'm going to do in Laravel is do something where instead of it's all one HTML page with everything there, I'm going to break it up into first two pages. So it's going to be the main page, which contains the sidebar, and then it contains the header and the footer. But then the inside content page I'll move out here. So here will be content, here will be side, footer, this will be top nav. So here I'll kind of do the same on the system, top nav. This will be side, but here will be the content. So the content I'll move into like home.blade.php, and then the and this will be called theme.blade. Blade, wow. And then here it'll be original theme, HTML, CSS. I'll just say HTML. So basically this is what I'm going to do. And then in this area I'll just say @yield content, like that. And then in this area I'll say section content. So that's basically what happens. This, when you do these two commands, these two link up and it drags that piece in there. The reason why we do this, you're probably wondering, why are we wasting this much time? Well, here this could be home.blade and this could be profile.blade.php, meaning this could be anything else. Section content. That makes sense. So the profile could also link up to it, and depending on where you're going, we always pull the theme, the full theme, and then but we replace the inside content with your destination page on the fly. So if your route is get profile, for example, then it'll go through here into here, basically, and then vice versa, or not vice versa, but if you go to home, it goes like that. So when we integrated the theme, what I did is I just took this section out. The second part of this is moving also the top nav, the footer, and the sidebar to their own locations as well. So basically the theme just kind of compiles everything together, and then everything else kind of broken up into their own locations. The reason being is we could potentially have a different need for a sidebar or it just helps kind of organize the management so that one file isn't so big and we'll do that as we go. We'll kind of improve it, but for now, this is kind of the idea. So this sidebar and top, and then the footer is all one, and then this gets pulled in based on which page we go to. So if somebody clicks here, this will change. This will all stay the same because it's considered the same thing. So I wish I would explain that a little more in the video before we actually started, but whatever. I mean, you probably learned something from it anyways. So the next step, let's get logout to work. I always like to work in a manner that's like functional. It's like a function over form. Basically, it's got to be able to log us out, log us back in, because at the very least, at least you can get back in. Because if we don't do that right now, if I needed to test the logout, like you wouldn't be able to do it. If I needed to work on the logout or registration, you can't do it. So here, the logout button, let's get that to work. So where is that located? So right now, the logout button will be located in theme login, and no, not theme login, sorry, and theme blade, and we'll have to scroll all the way up, and we'll have to find it, and we might not be able to find it. We'll have to look the logout, and we finally found it down here. Before, it used to be in app.html or the app.blade. That was our original template. We had this little guy right here. So I went to app, which was the original, and found that if it's a guest, then show the login, else register, that kind of a thing. And then also it actually contains the login mechanism right there as well, the logout login mechanism. So I can come back to theme and apply that in this area as well. Except here we're using a list item. So here we're using a list item, and then inside a list item we have a div, and inside the div we have another div divider, and then we have an actual anchor text for logout. So we actually can't use all of, we can't just copy and paste it. It's a little different for us. So I have to now help kind of resolve this, so to speak. So we don't really necessarily need most of this. I think we can just go straight to the logout button right here, which is this guy. What I'm saying is, before our logout button was a kind of like a multi-purpose button. It did quite a bit. Now, because we have a theme, the theme separation, they do two different things. One does one thing, the one does another thing. That's crazy. We have a logout modal here. Let's take a look at this. I just want to see what happens here. Oh, cool. So on logout, it actually pops up with the modal, and it says ready to leave, and then it lets you log out right there. And I noticed it because it says right here, data toggle modal. So we need to find this data toggle modal, and we need to modify it there. So let's go find Control F, logout. So it's not here. There it is, logout modal, and it's got the A reference right there. So we can just paste this here. Keep the route as is. Boom. That should work. So basically, I copied the type of logout they had. So what is this? You're probably wondering, like, what kind of a logout is this? Well, this logout only works with post, and I'll get into posts and gets in the future. But if you already know what this is, you'll kind of understand that we can only log out through a form submission post, and it's not you can't just go to a specific URL automatically logs you out. So that's why. So you have to actually create a form on the fly. So hit that, click this, boom, takes you to home page. Now, I think we talked about if somebody comes to a home page, they go straight to login page. So let's do that. So go to your routes, go to web, and where it says if somebody goes to the home page, go to welcome, we could just take them to login. Well, actually, we could just take them to home. If anybody goes here, just take them to home. Refresh, boom. It says, hey, you can't go home because you're not logged in. The authenticated user is not logged in, and you're missing some information. That's because the app, HTTP controllers, and home controller, the construct is has middle or auth, yet still tries to load it. Oh, I guess we could just in web. It's because we try to bypass the controller and go directly to a view, and the view just freaked out and said, whoa, 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 what's going on? So basically we need to do it the same way as we did here, like that. Fresh. So there you go. Now it throws us back to login, and we can go from here. Now let's go to create account. Let's plug in register. I'm going to close all so you guys can follow along. And I have two different register files. I have layouts, I have theme login, which I already showed you. I have register, and I have the original register. So take the form submission from the original register and overwrite it here, but preserve the class for styling purposes. Cool. Then where it says register, we'll overwrite this. We'll say create an account. Then where we have name, looks like we have a name there. We have the ID for name. So actually with the errors, it's kind of nice. So the first one's going to be, so here we have broken up into first name, last name, but on our system we actually only use the full name, so I'm just going to put the full name. And then we have the, we need a placeholder here. Your name. We don't need, oh, actually we do need to preserve the class that's associated with the original, like that. So there's our name. The second thing is email. So we have name, which we have made one row. Now we have email. Actually, I could show you that. So here you see we made name one row. It's a little big, bigger than I was expecting. We'll need to fix that. We'll also need to remove these two and remove the bottom horizontal rule right here. So we're going to remove all three of those. So, and repeat password, I think we use repeat password. I think so, yeah. Okay, next one. Oh, so there's actually a row here. So we do need to include, I think it was here. Put form group. Oh, we don't need row per se. Oh, we don't need row there. Okay, that's the problem. Alright, so next one is email. Scroll down, we'll grab email information. Right below here, we'll copy the placeholder, and we'll copy the new information, the new style of the theme. Everything else looks pretty good. There you go. Save old email, new email, all good there. The next thing is password. Come down to the password. So here we have password twice. So the first one is going to be like this. Password. Still need form control for user. Still need a placeholder for password. And then we don't need the original. That. And then go back here, and we need the password confirmation, which is right here. Scroll down. That. Copy the class. Whoa, actually, our password confirm here is looks weird. That's kind of weird. I don't know if I like that. Stay like that. Confirm. Oh, it's a label. That's why we don't usually use labels. Oh, I guess I just go like this. Oops. Placeholder, repeat password. And for the class, we still need to preserve the class. Like that. And save. This is going to be a button. Register with Google and Facebook. We're not going to do right now. So I'm going to comment those out, and then you can comment it out two ways. I use a keyboard shortcut for it, but you can also do it like this, I'll pretty much comment it out. We don't need this HR, and forgot my password. We do need this. We'll get this to work here soon. Already have an account. In that case, we'll go to login, and that should do it. Oh, actually, I should probably stick to my own recommendations. Let's add the translation here. Let's add the translation for this one and for this one. Cut, paste, cut, paste. Alright, so we have the translations. Everything's good. We could probably even put translations here, a lot of places. And refresh. There you go. It looks beautiful. Alright, we're in. So that fixes our login, logout. And this is really cool too. The theme actually recommends that you have a profile page, setting page. It kind of gives you hints and ideas. This is what your design team would probably do for you, and then you would be working on, say a profile page, settings page, activity log, things like that. They don't give you the page for everything, but quite often a lot of good themes will give you a lot of pages. I mean, for all kinds of things. So there you go. Now we have the look. You know what I would like though is these jokes, instead of one page, one card with each joke, I'd like to create a new card per joke instead of one card with all the jokes. So I want to show you how we can do that. So let's close these out. In resources, views, home controller. Right here we loop through each of the jokes. Instead, I'd like to loop through each of the cards. Everything else looks good to me. I just want to move this out a little like this. And instead of 6, I guess 6 is fine. I want to move the whole joke into here, like that. And then the joke title can go into here, and then the joke content can be placed into the card body, like that. So basically, I'm looping through and creating these columns, and then each one has a card in it, so like that. The only thing is, it's all aligning left. So I think that's probably because the content that we have available to us, I think, is only 10. So it's this container fluid, and then we have inside of there we have this one is 4, this one is 6, the whole thing is 6. Oh, we only have 6 here across, it looks like. No, it's not it. No, that's mine. No, this is a great question. Let's try 5. Fresh. No. If that's 6 all the way across, that means 3 will do it. 3 will be half that. Oh, actually, let's look at their theme and see how they structure their multiple columns this way. See how they have inspect. So it is LG6, but they have a row, and then LG6. Okay, that's what it is. I'm missing the row. So right here we'll say div class row, and then in the row we'll place this. The row, I think, resets it. 6 LG. So there you go. So all our jokes will show here, except the one that was here. I quite like this one a little more. View page source, view frame source. This one has quite a bit of styles to it. So the main card has a shadow, and it looks like it has something else there. Then the header has all this stuff. And then it has H6, which has all that. Quite a bit. Not too bad. Let's try it. Not like we have to do it too many times. Just go like this, and then right click that, paste that here. There you go. I just don't like that many classes in there, but it looks much better. The text, I like the way the text looks too. So let's take a look at the text. They don't do anything with the text, it's pretty standard. Cool. So what am I doing? I'm basically just copying this. You're probably pretty good at copying and pasting by now. But basically it's a card, it's a Bootstrap card, and if you look at Bootstrap card, it's a pretty standard anatomy. I think we talked about this one a little bit before, and you can, on top of that, you can add additional functionality. So that's basically what this is, a card each, and if you scroll this down to like this, it kind of becomes its own joke like that. And we can add things to it in the future. I'm basically building a framework for us to build on top of, so that we can move quicker. So cool. So that's the integration. We got login to work, we got the dashboard to work, and we've got the registration to work. We also got the log out to work, and we redid some of these cards to make them look a little better. And yeah, so we've been busy. I think the next thing we'll do is we'll probably start working on search. We'll probably tackle some of these notifications. Maybe we'll build a profile page. There's just so much to do, and just whatever I guess we're feeling. I also have a list of some other items that we can tackle. For example, asynchronous work to it using jQuery. That might be actually a good step to jump into next. Instead of refreshing the page on a new joke, new joke content. So instead of refreshing the whole page, it would just automatically appear below it. That's called asynchronous. That could be something that we tackle next as well. So thanks guys for tuning in. Have a good day.